Happy Mother's Day week. And so we are wrapping up next weekend our series, Living Proof. And today and next week, kind of tying in and really giving a little more foundational teaching and truth to what we see of and know of the Holy Spirit and how the Holy Spirit interacts in our lives. And so if you can just kind of take yourself to the mountain, Jesus has told the disciples where to be. These 11 who remained told him, hey, go to this particular mountain, particular day, particular time, and I'm going to meet you there. Word had gotten out. 500 folks, Paul says, have shown up, and they're all eyewitnesses to Jesus giving the Great Commission, final, his last day on earth. He is preparing them for his departure, has been for some time before his crucifixion, and now he says, I'm leaving. And so they are witness to Jesus ascending into heaven. But he's told them before this, hey, I want you to stay in Jerusalem. Don't leave. Don't go do what I'm telling you to do until you have received the gift that the Father is going to send you. Once you have the gift, he doesn't say then go, but the implication is once you have the gift, you're going to know what to do with it. And so if we kind of, this morning we looked at some of the other, some of what Jesus had shared in John 14, 15, and 16, and then we look at the Luke's account there in Acts, and we see that it was very intentional that Jesus is saying, I have to go for the Spirit to come. We also looked at the passage where Jesus very clearly says, we three, that all three of the Godhead are implied there. Speaking of all being, Jesus has already told him, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. And he's going to say, we will come and indwell the believer. Through the person of the Spirit, yes, but where one is, they all are. We don't really understand that, but God is ever present. He is all knowledgeable. He's all powerful. And there is really no way for our finite minds to really wrap around the ever presence of God in our lives. And yet, he's told his disciples, I am going away, and when I do, I'm going to send the Comforter to be in you. I'm going to send my advocate, my representative, the Spirit, to be in you. And then you'll do far greater things than I have done, than you've seen me do. And I believe that is cumulative. I believe that includes you and me and all of us together, the entire church, corporate, international, from beginning of time, beginning of the launch of the church at this day of Jesus' ascension all the way, or certainly the day of Pentecost until today. You're part of that, and I am as well. How are you allowing the Spirit to empower you? What is it that, though your head may scratch and you wonder, God, how does God accomplish this? How has he done these things in my life? What is it that you would say concretely today? Man, I know that this is the power of God in my life. You know, we probably each have friends that are a little more charismatic than I may be. I'm super conservative, and I can't even dance. But you know, we all have friends that kind of are definitely more expressive, and that I would say that God has blessed them with the gift of tongues, and that's incredible. I absolutely would love to be around somebody that God is speaking through in that way. But there are other gifts of the Spirit, ways that God has empowered us. What are your spiritual gifts? What are the things that God has empowered you to do and that he is using to glorify himself in your life? So that's the key. So I love the fact that on the day of Pentecost, the power of the Spirit was so intense that it just immediately launched the church. The disciples and everybody else in the building left that upper room, went out into the city streets. Peter begins preaching through the power of the Spirit, and all of the disciples are now interpreters in many languages that they have never spoken before, and God is doing just absolutely incredible things. And seeing the church grow 3,000 by 3,000 new additions on that one day, that's just absolutely incredible. I believe that is the intent of the power of the Spirit of God implanted in the believer, that we are launched out into the world to do that which would bring him honor and glory. And his Spirit is the crucial part of that. If you take the Spirit of God away, then we just fall flat on our face. And we'll go as far as we can in the human flesh, but we're not going to be successful. ultimately, not certainly to the degree that he's calling us to do. I want you to take a little time. It could be a fun discussion tonight because we probably have in all of our groups folks on from every end of the spectrum. That there's really no right or wrong. It's what God is doing in your life. I personally believe that there's only one baptism, and then we're filled with the Spirit. That's the bigger takeaway for me. There's so many other things that really don't matter, and it's not going to get us in heaven or keep us out of heaven. And so share with each other your thoughts, your experiences. I'd love to hear some of these comments. Send me a text. God bless you.